castle creak. Your outcome's looking pretty bleak. Thunder booms and lightning crashes, leaving boots filled with ashes. As we lay you down to rest, we read the pages of the Dead Man's Digest.
Hey everybody, welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of the Dead Man's Digest. And it's finally time to review Halloween Horror Nights 27.
Oh yeah.
That wonderful oh yeah voice was, of course, Travis Terrell. How's it going?
How's it going, man?
Good. And, of course, we also have Nina Thompson with us.
We're alive! The hurricane didn't kill us!
Yes, no, it did not. It did kill a stage at Horror Nights, though. And it did a real number on it because they're still not running the show. But anyways, that'll be part of what we talk about. You know, it's...
And we know it's already been 2 weekends of Horror Nights. But honestly, I bet you guys also agree. We really needed the 2 weekends to really get, the full, our full opinion and review ready.
I still don't even know if I'm fully ready,
right?
for a review, to be honest. But because I don't know. I just haven't had many run-throughs of the houses for some reason. A couple of nights I was taking photos and just doing other stuff. So I still need to get a lot more runs under my belt.
Yeah, and it's been changing a lot because I know that even though they opened when they were supposed to, they have had some trouble from the hurricane, and you can tell that a lot of stuff has been added back to certain scare zones and things like that.
Exactly.
That weren't there to begin with, and the scare zones themselves, some of them are evolving on their own, kind of like the scare actors are kind of taking over and doing things differently from what the original intention was.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that when we get to those, but yeah, you want to just go ahead and start on the houses?
Sure.
Okay. So, let's go. We're going to go map style, universal map style. So we're going to start with A, which is American Horror Story.
Oh yeah.
Budget cuts. I have to provide the.
We don't have
audio.
sound effects or the copyrights for that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe if we just took a clip of it and sped it up like half a second.
Yeah.
Then we could use it.
Right.
Isn't that how you get around the copyright?
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody's listening to it anyways, right?
Yeah, nobody listens.
Oh, my heart.
No.
But yeah, this was the longest one of this year, in doing the audio recordings and video recordings, which hopefully I have playing behind each house when we're talking about it. American Horror Story clocked in at 6.5 minutes.
Long. Feels long.
That's a long walkthrough.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks like that would make sense because it looks like they're using up more of that soundstage than they were last year. Remember there was more line inside, like in the AC area?
True.
Oh, yeah.
Very true, yeah.
So, yeah, they were pretty much using a whole, I don't even know if it was a whole soundstage or a half of a soundstage, but you think about that now, the inside portion is very small.
Yeah, it's like a third of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which you have to go through no matter what, even through Express or RIP tour.
Or media event tour.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah,
you ain't getting past that.
Exactly. You're going to stay in that last, and it's a super dark room. Like, creepy dark.
Like, I thought the lights went out dark. I'm like, are they going to turn them on? Or, like, we're out here with our phones. Like, we
were also coming in from the outside, so it was harder for our eyes to adjust to that, because that's what we did. After staying Scream, so it was still light outside, so that was the other problem. But it is only, like, 2 very dimly lit lights on each side of the sound stage.
Yep. Yeah, and
which
a lot
is
of...
like
really loud
50 feet.
Oh yeah.
At least
a lot of really loud sound effects, like the pig noise and stuff that'll like happen right by your ear once you're by the curtain.
Yeah, they play some disturbing sounds in there.
Yes, but yeah, this was Asylum,
Coven and Roanoke.
Yes, Coven and Roanoke. So what were your thoughts on it?
It was long.
You can go first because you've seen some of these, right?
I've never seen these
Oh, you haven't seen them?
No, I'm unprepared. I was preparing for other houses.
So what, do you like this one? This one was longer than the one last year?
I think so.
Yeah, it seemed like it. Which one did you guys like better? Did you like last year's better or this year's better?
I asked Darren that's the first night that we did this house together. I said, in my opinion, I liked last year's better.
Yeah.
Right.
But maybe it was, I really enjoyed like the hotel and having Lady Gaga characters, like things that I can kind of, recognize. I like houses where I can recognize and have something to kind of a parallel to compare it to.
Yeah.
But this house, just like last year, they also did where it's like a break between seasons. So it really felt like you're doing 3 houses in one, I mean.
Yeah.
So it felt so long.
I think I'm in the same camp as you guys. I think I still liked last year's better. I don't know what it is. It felt, I don't know, it felt bigger. Like this year seems like there's more smaller scenes in it.
Yeah. Like maybe less detailed and a little more generic, especially because, I mean, I've seen a chunk of Asylum. I don't know how many episodes I saw of it, and then I saw the first episode of Coven when that one came out. So I knew about the attic scene there with like everybody tied up and in cages and everything like that, and the guy with the big bull head.
About that, are we doing spoilers in this?
Oh yeah, I guess I should have said that.
Oh yeah,
before I start talking about that.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
At this point, 2 weeks into the event, we're going to do spoilers on this one.
I'm sorry.
I got you. Just wanted to make sure we were letting people know we were getting into that territory if that was our intention on this one. So
yeah,
spoilers ahead.
I like that.
Yeah, so that scene, and I recognized some of the stuff from the Asylum at the beginning, but Roanoke just seemed very much like the Roanoke house they had.
That's
previously.
what I said. Yeah, it felt like it was just like the Roanoke house years ago.
And guys, can you bring this up? There's actual weed hanging in the American Horror Story house.
Yes, there is. Yep.
Well, it's not real, but it's made to look real, and they do a pretty dang good job.
Yeah.
At it.
Meanwhile, somebody's carving a body up on one side and throwing entrails at you as you walk by with a little water spray effect, which is pretty neat. But make sure you look to the right when you walk through, and you'll see it all sitting up there. And it has a really unique smell. They used a really herbal scent in that room as well. So which is pretty funny. But yeah, overall, I mean, it's definitely a solid house,
and it's definitely a fan house, like I've said. If you have, you can really, you get excited of certain scenes that you liked from the show. They're, I'm sure, there, like the Christmas and the Asylum with the Santa Claus with the giant hunk of gold. No, it was the star.
I don't want to watch it.
The star, like the ornament.
Yeah, it's really tight, and it's really, you have to squeeze by him between him and the tree. You're like, it's so cramped.
And then
I like it.
You have that mirror gag that they love to use to make people disappear, and then that's kind of a cool gag. Kind of makes me want to watch that episode now, just to see the guy, to see how. Because I know they were very good last year at nailing likenesses of people and stuff like that. So
So overall, I'd say it's definitely a solid house. Like you said, a good fan favorite.
Like if we only had an hour at the park and we had to do a house again, I would do that one.
It would probably be one of the ones. Yeah,
I feel like that house. I feel like you have to like those seasons and American Horror Story than you did last year, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, last year was more like the style was cool.
Like
just
anyone
on its own.
can love this,
especially that hotel section, like you said, like the fluorescent lighting, the neon lighting that they used in there, and just that cool like Art Deco style that they put out through the whole thing. I thought was pretty cool. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think you have to be more of an American Horror Story fan
to appreciate this one.
Than last year's. So.
Yeah, especially because if you're not, then Asylum is very much like a general like insane asylum house kind of thing. Like it's something that's been done at a lot of different. Not even just horror nights, just all horror events.
Oh wait, honorable mention. You guys have both like jumped into the air. The room that you have to go around with that girl with her head upside down and her legs like doing this little that robot twisty thing.
Yes,
you guys are like freaking out. I was like, what is going on?
Yes, and it's like it's a it looks like a really simple robot that just like goes up and down, and then like or animatronic. It goes.
But that face is so damn creepy.
Yeah, the head spins around, and then there's like a pipe that goes up and down that like makes the legs look like they're twisting and stuff.
Oh, the head spins around too. I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah, it's such a good effect. Yeah, it is such a good effect. I think it's like
it's like one of my favorite like props in a house.
Yes, very creepy, very disturbing, and it looks like it's actually a person as well. And so yeah. Great job for pulling that one off, because that's
factor awesome. In that room.
Yeah. I feel like a couple of the houses, they got a little bit more visceral this year than they have in years past, which was pretty cool. So
yeah.
Moving on along.
So yeah, let's move on to the Shining.
Man,
I don't have sound effects for this one.
I love this house, man. I like this house a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to like the house. So if that's saying anything. What can you say about it, dude? Like, they nailed it. Like,
what I said, it was like, they nailed this. They were in, I enjoyed this one more than I did Exorcist last year. And I liked Exorcist. Yeah. I felt like Exorcist was so...
But it had a similar... I still feel like it has a similar feel.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I like it even more, because it does kind of remind me of The Exorcist. And I feel like I was maybe the only one that liked The Exorcist last year. But, yeah, I still kind of got that vibe off of it. I don't know. I guess maybe because it was all the hallways and doors and stuff, maybe.
Yes, and then we go to that. There's that one hallway. It's like the carpet. And then the door frame is like a pentagon, and it's twisting, and you feel like you're getting lost in the carpet pattern. It was really cool.
Yep.
Yes.
And they nailed... Can we say right now they nailed the blood elevator scene? I'm still trying to figure out how they do it.
Yes,
but
I can't even tell if anything's actually moving there at all or not. Or
I feel like I can look in there and I can see like the jets of blood like moving, but I don't know if that's like a picture trick or what.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, dude, they killed that. Yeah. I didn't think they were going to do as good of a job with that. I'm glad we didn't get Hollywood's one, which is just a little scene set up, and then there's like a screen behind it.
Oh.
Yeah,
saw it, but I don't
you haven't seen the walkthrough of it?
No, yeah, I would think we watched it, but it was like hectic with everything going on, and going to Horror Nights and then watching all that stuff. And
in the middle of the night at the hotel after Horror Nights.
It does seem like their houses are brighter than ours.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because it seems as though they encourage filming and taking pictures and stuff in there.
So. Going in there with their lights on and stuff.
Yeah, so
like, we're trying to make stars here.
Right. But yeah, I wasn't very impressed. They also use full Jack Torrance masks too, instead of the like receding hairline mask.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Not all of them. Some of them kind of fit it pretty well, but some of those guys that they had did not fit the forehead that they had.
Yeah, they looked like Frankenstein.
Some of them, got to the point of Frankenstein, or like even like alien proportions. Like the first one you see in the hallway that's sitting in a chair with an axe, and you kind of have to walk by him, and he'll like jump up at you. Like that.
Are you talking about ours or the Hollywood one?
Ours. He had, like the prosthetic is like really obvious on that guy, and you can see the seam, and he's got like he's gone past 5 head to like a 6 head, 7 head. And
but I still think it's better than Hollywood.
But it's great. It's great because it still works. It's like a caricature of him, and it.
But you could recognize who it is when he's popping out of the little blue hole, and you're like, that's Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I think I like that better than Hollywood's with the because every mask looks the same, so there's no uniqueness to it, and they can't really do like facial expressions or anything with it.
And there were, I mean, I recognize it. I don't know if it's something that was actually going on or something I was just perceiving, but it looked like the mask got more and more exaggerated. I mean, the appliances and apparatus and how more deranged he looked as you went through the house.
Oh, I got to look out for that.
Because when we first went, those first ones are kind of mild, but then when you get to the end and you're going through the hedge maze at the end. For the second time, because technically you walk into the hedge maze as well. Right. The hedge maze at the end, he's turning more and more blue, and the last one has icicles coming off of his nose and everything when he comes out at you, and it's really good makeup and effects with it. But I think
the progression of him dying.
Yeah.
Frostbite.
Yeah, but I think that also happens in the house with him just going crazier and crazier. Cool. But the prosthetics get more and more exaggerated as you go on. So, another scene I really want to talk about in that is the bar scene.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
With the dance, with the ballroom behind you.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they do one of their great like transitions where everybody's frozen in a room and then the lights go off and then some of them are fake and some of them are real and they all come after you.
And you'll always catch it. The timing of it, it's like it's like the sweet amount of time as you come across the room. You'll always either be like going into when it's coming back to like bright or when it's going dark and it goes scary. So I've never missed it. Where usually there's something big you miss, so it's nice.
I like going in it with the lights on it and then they fall out.
Yeah.
I've gotten that a couple of times going through. We've got really good run throughs where as soon as we walk in, the bartender starts his spiel.
Yeah,
and he will stare you dead in the eye if you're the one that's in front of him while he starts.
Yeah, he's
He'll
talking
keep
to
his eyes
you.
on
It's
you
cool.
the whole time, which is so great.
This one feels like a pretty long house, right?
It does.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, and they've got they do that kind of artistic representation. So instead of just having him, with coming through the door one time. Like with the axe, they have him come all the way down a hallway, and they have it like slamming, and it's actually a really loud section of it as well. I know you love those loud sections, don't you?
No.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of the sound
That's
than
a
the
negative.
people.
And then Danny boy.
Daddy boy.
Oh, and then your favorite. We got the new HHN Bear coming at you 2017.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he goes by different letters that we shouldn't say.
Everything.
Yeah,
known for something in the movie. Just watch the movie and you'll see. But yeah, they put that bear in there. He's there. Also, creepy naked shower ladies in there as well.
Twice. Well, I'm not gonna. Well, spoiler, I guess. Well, so it's there in the curtain, and then behind you. Yeah. Hello, look out for that.
Yep.
Scary.
Also, dead children. That's kind of another theme going through a couple of the houses this year too. We're back to the dead kids.
Come on, Yorona. That was back then, not now.
So we have the dead twins' bodies down there, and the butler that tells you he took care of them. Or I forget what his line was exactly, but it's so good. Oh, and that one poor guy that has to like every 1 second. What's that line that guy with the martini says? Hell of a party, isn't it? Or something?
Oh, yeah. He just pops out. I think I pointed it out to you. I'm like, dude, that's got to be crazy.
He's like,
they probably do like 10-minute sets or they'd go crazy.
Yeah. They're like, so where's
bright light shining?
He's like, where's my switch? So you don't get a switch this year. You're just every 10 seconds. What?
Yeah.
No.
Every 10 seconds. No, it's like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, this poor guy.
Yep. So.
Dude's going to be blind by the end of the event.
But yeah, I said with this one, they basically had to nail it because the Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining is very, the visuals are very important and how you view the rooms and everything like that, has to match up to that standard of the movie, and I think they did a really good job with it. So,
right,
I am happy this year for sure.
A+.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're moving on to number C.
Number C.
And letter
Where'd you go to school?
2.
Letter C.
It's The Fallen.
Yeah. That deserves that because.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people love this house, dude. I don't know if this thing is like dependent on like perfect timing, which it seems like a lot of the houses this year are.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is very divisive.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm with you, Darren. I haven't really had any like really good run-throughs. Like they've either been I've been rushed through, or I just didn't get any of the scares, and I'd have to like look back at like, the guy that comes at you or the guy that flies over you, and that's not a good way to go through the house. You want it to happen more,
yeah,
and
naturally.
Also, I was really confused because the little backstory that they gave us, and I feel like when you actually go through the house, you're not
who's good and who's evil.
I'm just the whole time I'm trying to look for little clues like what's going on, and I'm just having this expectation, and it's not like painting the full picture, and I'm like confused. I mean, I was scared. It's a beautiful house, and then
I kind of feel like I'm going through Krampus in hell.
Yeah.
I wonder why you'd feel that way.
Oh,
yeah. A lot of little Krampus trolls that you found there. His elves,
Krampus.
I guess. Yeah, a lot of reuses of things in this one. They also had the flayed bodies from Chance's Scare Zone last year, which were also the ones from Body Collectors.
I feel like I'd like this house better if it had a roof on it. I think that's one of the things that I don't like. Like, it's got high sets that make you look up, but it just doesn't look
see the
finished.
rafters, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're trying to look for.
And there is a ton of black sheeting in this one, right? I'm not mistaken in that. There's just a lot of blank black space in between the sets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying with it. There are some really cool things they did. Hollow Scream tends to take a lot of stuff from Halloween Horror Nights here and there, but I think they took something from Hollow Scream, and that was the Bungee Man. Mm-hmm. They do have one Bungee Man in there, and we've caught him only one time going through.
This is the first time we've ever seen this at Horror Nights, right? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, as far as I know. And as far as I know, any time that I've gone, I've never seen them use those.
I know they've done flying stuff, but I've never seen the guys that bungee towards you.
Yeah, I thought insurance would be too high for, Universal for that.
And you see how it's only one person.
Yeah, I was expecting
they do it like 2-3 times in each house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not every house, but they do it more than once. But, yeah, I do think this one has, if they can maybe flesh it out a little bit more and maybe add a couple more scare actors, I think this one could definitely, I could see myself liking this one a lot more. Like, I think maybe this one can grow on me. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't had any good run-throughs, so I don't know. Because everybody I've seen is, like, going gaga over it.
Yeah, I don't know. They got a spine rip scene. It's kind of weak. It's not as good as the other spine rip scene from Body Collectors, I think. And they also use...
They're circular.
Yeah, they use that circular stage room from Body Collectors, exactly the same one. So, I don't know.
You think they reused the arena-style room? Remember that one? Where they actually did
where they come at you with the
spine rip scene?
I'm going to look out for it.
Yeah, I'll have to check again.
They have just repurposed it into something else.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as obvious as that circular room.
Yeah. And I'm sure the demons in that one as well. Obviously the other ones were the Krampus mask, and you had that spot on, but I'm sure those demon ones are from another previous year that we can't think of, because everything just seems like they just like went through the warehouse and said, hey, what can we put together for this one?
This is a Frankenstein house.
Yep.
It's funny. Busch Gardens will redo entire houses like to a T, like down to the last nail, and then Universal reuses one little set, and we're like,
yeah, that's true. I guess we expect more from it. I actually like seeing that. Sometimes.
I do. It's like,
I'm not trying to beat them up over it, but it was kind of, some of the masks were kind of obvious.
I know,
that's
so
all.
obvious. You're like, okay.
Yeah. It's not like any of the scenes other than just those two that we talked about were any of the same. So,
sorry, Fallen. You have fallen.
So, the next one we're going to talk about is Dead Waters.
Agua Muerto.
Yep.
For your Spanish-speaking audience.
So, first of all, we'll talk about the facade, of course.
The facade.
Yes.
The facade is awesome.
What can you say? I think it might be the best one I've ever seen.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, the highlight of the entire house is just walking in and seeing it, like, turning the corner.
Yeah.
They have you go down one of those long corridors where you're just in sheets on either side. Oh, and they're nice enough to, like, blow a smoke machine directly into there as well for you.
Where they had some Irma damage branches hanging above you. You're like, I don't know if this thing's going to fall on me and fail me. They're kind of big.
But it's a huge riverboat, paddleboat, steamboat, whatever you want to call it.
Like the one at Disney.
Yeah.
It's the Liberty Bell, man.
Exactly.
The Liberty Bell. Sinking, so you're kind of at an angle when you walk through it.
Yeah.
But just the outside, they did such a great job.
Use
with
mirrors to look like reflective water.
Yeah.
Little alligators.
Yeah, little stone alligators in there. Those are funny.
Like cat tails sticking out.
Yeah.
It's cute.
But going through past that, you meet the captain of the riverboat, and then a couple of the passengers. Like that crazy old lady. that we couldn't. When Travis and I went to the media event, we couldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't tell what house that she was from, and then as soon as we went through, we saw that's where she was from.
Originally thought she was in like a scare zone or something, but
Yeah.
then I guess we kind of figured it out when they. Well, did she go up on the little the little stage thing for the media event? I don't think she was up there.
I don't know. That got crazy as far as that went. But,
Yeah.
But yeah,
you missed in the beginning, but though when you first go on the boat, since it's half in the water, you do have to break your ankles a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, you're walking like
Angled.
sideways, at an angle.
Oh, sideways.
Kind of like one of the rooms from 25 years, right? Was like that, and then it was like that. What was the other house that it was originally in?
The other ship house. What was that one?
Forsaken? No.
Forsaken, yeah.
Was it
You got
Forsaken?
right. Yep.
Gotcha. So, yeah, it's the same feel as that. Which is kind of cool when they switched it up like that. But I'm sure eventually, if you were trying to do that late at night or something, it would probably get annoying. But
yeah, I wonder if they use that same frame actually for that. Very possible.
Probably.
Yeah.
I keep getting the part of Dead Waters, like the voodoo scene mixed with like the American American
Horror story.
Hoarder story. The voodoo
really
scene in there, and I keep like confusing it. I'm like, is that voodoo guy with the baby? Is he in this one? No, he's in American Horror Story. Like I keep forgetting because I never watch American Horror Story, so I keep getting him confuzzled.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talking about Dr. Facilier?
Sure. That guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I kept thinking that room from American Horror Story where you walk under the
possessed person
that's on the ceiling and floating there.
Exorcist.
Yeah. I
It's probably
kept thinking that was from that set from Dead Waters as well, but no, that's not.
Yeah.
This is actually a really short one.
Yes, it's very short.
Yeah. That's one of my only complaints about it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not long enough. So they probably spent all the money on the facade there and
On the facade.
Yep. And they had not enough for anything else.
The Voodoo Queen, I thought she had a very small little room for like how important she was.
Yeah.
For the makeup and the actor was amazing. Costume was great, but I just
and
felt...
she was just like in a dark corner as soon as you walk into the room. She was like up and to the right.
Yep, and then she just had some voodoo-y stuff around.
I do like how some of the sets went super high up though.
Yeah.
And it kind of wrapped around you. Like that made it some of those rooms feel really big to me. Like they nailed it with like it looked like you're going through like a town or something, right? At the end.
Yeah, you're going through like her little like voodoo village.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite scenes besides the the opening facade scene. So I think they nailed that. Mm-hmm. But like we said, it's the only thing I can really complain about is the length. I just wish, even if it was just like 30 seconds longer.
And because I don't see enough people talking about it, Mark Twain is in here. Zombie Mark Twain makes an appearance, and he's great.
Yep. You pointed that out to me. Yes. I didn't even notice that.
Starting a thing where you bow to him, and he bows back to you. So do it when you see him. Just
have you gotten him to do it yet?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
twice
funny.
going through the house. So
that's awesome.
I turn around and I see you both. Bowing at each other.
Just keep doing it. For
because where he hides, when you look back, you can still see him all the way through the rest of the room. So
it's like you're trying to be friends with Buckbeat. You're like bowing, showing respect.
That's right. You respect the literary genius of Mark Twain, even in zombie form.
It's just funny. I look back. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I didn't know what you were doing.
But he does it back, and it's so great. So.
I'm assuming that's who it is, right?
Yeah,
isn't he from Louisiana?
Yeah. He's very much known for the steamboats and for, being on the Mississippi River and everything like that. So, yeah.
It's actually even more awesome now.
Yeah.
That little Easter egg in there.
Yep. And at the media event, Charles Gray did say during the presentation, too, that there was a cameo in there that he loved. So that's definitely the one that he was talking about. So
nice.
So, overall, it's definitely a really solid house. Like I said, if not a little short, unfortunately. That's that's a good thing if your only complaint of the house is it's not long enough.
Like, we want more.
Right.
So I'd definitely say that one's towards the top.
Yep.
And now we're coming to, what is this? The Horrors of Blumhouse.
Yeah.
And this is over in the MIBQ, so this is a big jump from our last house. Sound stages.
I don't know. You guys want to go first on your thoughts? Because I think you probably have different thoughts than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I first of all, I I am bummed that we don't have the cohesive storyline that Hollywood's house has. Hollywood's is you're out on the streets during the purge, and then you like run into a movie theater to like escape, and they're doing a double feature of Blumhouse's Happy Death Day and Sinister, and they're coming after you in the theater basically.
I feel like it makes more sense over there though, because they have more like they have to do more stuff like from the streets and stuff than we do. True. So I mean, I don't know if that would have worked. I mean, they probably could have made it work on some like the bigger soundstage or something, but I don't think they wanted to take up the room for that. Yeah, this might be like a more of a test run.
Possibly. Who knows? Yeah, I would like to see it get a bigger treatment with like an actual like connected, elaborate storyline like that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, but in comparison to that, this one had the 3 separate.
Yeah,
Sinister,
like
Purge, and
written
Insidious.
on the wall as you walked through. Literally, like you walk through each area. It's like Purge first, and that was 2 rooms and very small ones at that.
No, the first one was Sinister.
Yeah,
Purge was in the middle.
Oh, okay,
Purge is in the middle. See, to me, I actually really enjoy this house. I just wish they would have done it a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. Like I think I would have liked it even more than I actually do, because I actually do really like this house. Mostly because I'm a big Insidious fan, but if they would have done half and half, maybe Sinister and Insidious, since those 2 fit together because they're more psychological horrors. Like I didn't feel like Purge like fit in with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just kind of jarring to go from a psychological horror to just like a murder, almost like a murder movie. I don't know how else you would describe it.
Right.
To another.
Creepy,
psychological, creepy thriller, and then they mashed them all up. Like Purge didn't really fit in that mashup either.
Agreed.
But
and they already had a scare zone.
Like I like the front half is a lot weaker than the back half of this house. The back half is pretty freaking intense to me, dude. Like it's one of the scarier, creepier houses I think this year. And I said that earlier on Twitter. I had some people that agree with me. But I've just seen like a lot of people not like this house, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I like it more because they are kind of more claustrophobic scares. So I don't know, maybe people don't like those kind of scares.
Yeah.
This isn't one of my favorites, but I do know exactly what you're saying. It really does pick up steam towards the end, and I feel like it's scare after scare after scare after scare, where you get a workout from jumping around so much.
If you get them. That's the only little problem I have with that is once you get past the Insidious part with like the key demon or whatever, the key finger demon, that's kind of a bummer too, because they have one scare actor trying to scare an entire room of people.
Yeah,
it's one of those U-bend kind of things.
Well, I think there's 2 because there's one in the finale as well when you first get out.
Right.
He's like right there on the left hand side by the jail cell, right in front of. And what you call it, Old Smokey's back too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then but yeah, that long hallway basically, the long curtains where they're coming out and doing the
I know what you're saying.
Things like that. Like if you don't get that right, then you don't get any of them. So
yeah.
I know that when we were going through the last time, they got Travis real good. Like it just kept going and going and going. You were like on cue for it, and I was like right behind. So
yeah, I might have. I don't know. Maybe that's why I like the house a lot. Maybe I've just been having good run throughs, and people haven't been having good run throughs.
Well, yeah,
like
true.
Some people are having good run throughs through Fallen, and I haven't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it just falls that way sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah,
our list might change.
Yeah, true. And if you like it, you like it for sure. I'm sure there's ones that I like. I'm actually positive there's ones I like that a lot of people don't like this year. So
yeah.
So the Sinister portions I really like. The whole movie projection things and all that they do with that. And Bagul is creepy. It's a nice.
I just don't. The only thing I don't understand about Bagul is why in the hell does he have crimped hair? Like. Is he like from the 80s or something?
Yeah,
you notice
stylish.
A demon's gotta stay stylish.
This dude has crimped hair, man. I was taking pictures of him the other day, and then Altars of Horror Scares it. I'm like, this dude's straight from the 80s, man.
Yeah, like I don't know, like in the movie,
it
seemed
creepy,
like he was
though.
pretty flat, like it's like straight down flat hair, right? In the movie,
I don't know. Maybe somebody's trying to play a prank or
Doing
something.
a little artistic interpretation.
Yeah, 80s Bagul.
Yeah.
But no, he is a pretty creepy. I haven't seen Sinister,
I think you'd
so
like it.
I need to watch it. Is there something significant about him like shushing people? Because I always see him doing that in the Scare Zone.
Well, yeah, because he's like in the movies basically, like in like 8mm film and stuff like that, and like that's how he gets out into the places where he's killing. It's like he goes through the film, so I think that's kind of
Have you seen both of them?
What's that? Yeah, both of the movies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You mean Insidious and... Oh, no,
No,
Sinister 1 and 2.
there's two Sinisters, right?
Yeah.
Are they
we've
both
seen
good,
both.
or is it really only the first one's good?
I think both of them were good.
I remember liking both, but honestly, I would confuse them with Insidious all the time. And
Yeah.
I don't
I'll have to check it out because
Yeah.
I feel like if I like Insidious, it's gonna be like the same styling, so I feel like I would like that. And I need to watch The Conjuring as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I would like
See,
those
that's another
movies
one
too.
I always confuse all these with.
Yeah.
Which
and that almost was here too this year, which would have been so like a bunch of run-throughs.
where Hive is, right?
Yeah, that's where it was supposed to be. So, and that's actually a good transition because that's what we're talking about next is Hive.
We'll just do numbers. Number 6 out of 9.
And
Yes.
this is one I think I need more run-throughs as well. And I don't know. I feel like it needs more scares, to be honest with you.
I love
actually
his house.
really
I love
like
his
it.
house, and I've only done it
Really?
once.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I
Really?
love it. Like,
And-
the more I go through and the more I look at all the details and everything around you, the more I just like it more and more and more.
Did you saw the Van 55 Easter egg, right? Did I show you that?
No, you told us about it, but we didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't
It's,
seen it yet. But
It's up on one of the there's like a 3-tiered bookshelf or whatever off on the right hand side, and it's like a ripped up red and yellow sweater just sitting up on the bookshelf or whatever you want to call it, on one of the shelves.
awesome.
When y'all come next weekend, we got to go through it, and I'll show you
Yeah.
exactly where it is. Once you see it, you won't unsee it. You'll see it every time you go through.
This
For
house,
sure.
wasn't one of my most anticipated houses, but I was so scared, actually, like, scared to go through it alone. So that night when you guys are at the media event, I actually just, like, okay, next house. I'm like, I'll go back and I'll wait when Darren's out, and we'll do this one together. And so I've only done this once with you, and it was the perfect run-through. Like, I don't think we could have gotten a better run-through ever.
Yeah.
It was meant to be that way.
You've seen The Conjuring, right?
Yeah.
Having seen The Conjuring, do you see any scenes in here that, you know, how they did with The Purge? Like, you could tell some of the Scream ones is they're not.
It's been a while since we've seen the Conjuring.
I feel like
Yeah.
some of the windows in there look like they could probably be. I've never seen the movie, but it kind of looks like it would fit
That's
with that movie.
because
Like
it is
the
like
windows.
a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a really old house, like the Conjuring,
Right.
you know, that they're in. So, I mean, it's possible,
But not
that
as
it could've
obvious
fit
as
in, but-
Scream was.
Yeah, there wasn't like the popcorn on the stove,
Yeah.
like kind
and
of
Drew Barrymore,
obviousness.
like, right there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that house, it was so cramped. And, you know, us three, we love those cramped houses. And that
Yeah.
house was so cramped. And the vampires themselves were creepier than I thought they were going to be. Like, they were super animalistic. They were creepier than I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a little too dark.
It is dark. I remember, I
Yeah.
did note that it did feel kind of dark.
You have to go to this one after the sun sets. Don't do.
You won't be able to see
I don't
anything.
actually this year. Honestly, I do not recommend going to the Simpsons Stay and Scream area because
They're
all
all
those
so
houses
dark.
over there are very dark. Scarecrow is over there, right?
Yeah.
That's
That's another one.
Ash versus Evil Dead has some pretty dark segments
Yeah,
to go
I
through
missed
as well.
like half of it when I did the stay and screen for that one.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I do not recommend that. The Finnegan's is great because The Shining is a nice bright house to go through.
Yeah.
I had no problems with my eyes adjusting in that one. And same with American Horror Story when we went through that
Because
afterwards.
you have to stand in the dark, anyways.
Yeah, so
Right. That's good. That's the only good thing about that line in front of American Horror Story is your eyes can adjust.
yeah, definitely. I wonder if like the creators, the American Horror Story development side said, "Hey, we want this."
No.
Maybe.
They're
You
like,
never know. Never know. We need their eyes fully adjusted before they see this.
Exactly.
Back to Hive,
Yes.
I really like this house. There's a lot of scare actors, like tons of scare actors. And then not only did you have the old vampires, you have like young, like I don't know, 7, 8, 9, and then you have baby. Like they're reproducing there, they're feeding there. Yep. They're like the bodies are there, like the items of the people they kill are there.
Oh yeah, and some of the bodies are just like and like stacked in the walls.
Yes.
Like when you look in there, you can like see
in the foundation. Like, it's like the bodies,
like bones and half-eaten bodies and stuff, just stuffed in places.
Or speaking of talking about dead children, there's a kind of a weird scene in this one.
Yes, another set of dead twin babies, I think, in a
yeah, that's real creepy, man.
Yeah, in a like, what crib?
Almost said nest because I'm like.
And then also that room is full of little child-size caskets as well.
Yeah, caskets. Which,
which also this house is full of caskets. If you haven't
over
noticed
from the roof.
Yeah.
And they're actually used as in one room as a divider, like to have you do like a U-bend shape around the room. They use like a whole line of caskets,
and they're not like these cheapy little things. Like they look
like legit real caskets.
They're heavy.
A funeral home must have went out of business or something around here because
buy one get one free.
Yeah, they got a lot.
When we were walking through, Nina said, "Man, they spent a lot of money on these. They must have spent a lot of money on these caskets."
And they're like entombed in like, I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of spray foam or something that they painted. That's gonna be a pain in the butt to get this out of that stuff, dude.
Oh yeah, and you know what that spray foam I believe is supposed to represent? That is that's guano. These like disgusting vampire hive things just live in this house. They never
bat poop.
Yes, they never leave.
Yeah, like eat.
They consume and then they do their business in here as well. So there's just huge dirt mounds, quote unquote. I think those are.
And then they have the bee audio. You hear bzzz. You just feel like they're all around you. And
do they have bee audio in there?
Not like bee, like
a buzzing,
buzz,
like a humming kind of sound all the way through it. Like it just like ratchets up the intensity of it. Yeah, especially when you notice it.
I can't do it.
The black lights are awesome on the contacts.
Oh yeah.
But I've noticed there's only like one or two of them, dude.
Yes, there's not enough. And there's another problem. There's actually like 3 or 4 of them. But the other 2, I've noticed every time we've gone through, jump past the light to jump out and scare people,
or lean back too far.
Exactly, and they're not in the zone for it. But
yeah.
The other problem,
you can see the black light go off.
Yeah. The other problem is Holly Cotter brought up this when we were hanging out with her. Said that the ear protection that the scare actors use in there are neon colored, so the UV lights those up as well. So
they got glowing ears too.
Yeah, these like evil demonic guys need ear protection as well.
Oh man!
You sleep during the day and you're too loud, humans.
So they have earplugs in?
Yeah. And that's a standard thing in a lot of the houses, but they're usually not as obvious when you don't have a black light.
Right. They need to spray paint those or something.
Yeah. But this is one house that I've seen getting a lot of flack online that I just love. The set design, once again, like you can see everything in the house. Like they really, it looks like they put a whole home together and then wrecked it. Like
there's one part you're walking up like through the room. Okay, you're going up. Okay, and it's where the staircase would be. So it's like they ripped out the stairs and you can see like. You know what I mean? Like the wood where they would actually fit. So you just feel like you're walking through a house that's gone through, like, it's been demolished, just, lived in and destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah, they've done a number on that house.
Yeah. So I personally just love the environment. I love the look of the scare actors in there.
And the facade is top notch.
Yes.
I feel like this... Great. Is that a joke?
Yes. It is the Square Box Halloween 2 facade, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah, especially when you look at, like, the past 3 years, the facades that have gone that house. We got Halloween, Insidious, and Texas Chainsaw that all were that facade. And then they're going to give it, like, this crappy box.
Yeah, it's strange. Unless it either A, was damaged in the hurricane, or B, looked too much like the Conjuring's, like the front of the Conjuring house, because that's a really unique looking house.
Just spray some spray foam on it.
Yeah, there you go. Get that thing. Put some guano on it.
Put some caskets on the roof.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, how did nobody know that this was the crazy vampire house with all these caskets everywhere?
But what I was going to say is, I think that this house was kind of panned at the beginning, and I think people are starting to come around to it now.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are saying that while I agree, they say the first half of this house is pretty weak. Like, you're just walking through without any scares.
Yeah.
The first half. And you can definitely tell that they used that same entry hallway from Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
With the 2 double doors when you first walk in.
Oh, yeah.
I think they just wallpapered it.
Yeah, that's a pretty much standard one for that house there.
Yeah.
They use
It might just be permanently built in like that.
I think so. It's like a ramp. I think they have to run a lot of wiring and stuff under that ramp there, so that's just kind of the way it is. And there's never anything in there either. Those doors, I think, just open to electrical components, so no scare actors back there.
Yeah.
5 out of 5 would recommend.
But yeah, I definitely recommend that. And yeah, if you do get bored in the first half, look at those details, like I said, because they got some really cool, crazy details in there. I definitely recommend.
If ops aren't freaking waving you through.
Yeah, whatever.
Just try to walk slow as I
Darren
can.
never listens to them, and I'm a rule follower. And I start, okay, ma'am, sir, yes. And Darren's like,
ma'am, sir.
Who cares?
I feel like that's the big problem with people run through these houses and don't really take in the full detail of them.
Oh yeah, especially when they got their heads down and like buried in somebody else and they can't see anything.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. You paid a lot of money to come see it. Like, look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, and when people do that, it's weird because then you leave this big gap and like you've got ops yelling at you like you're doing something wrong when you're just moving at a normal pace and these people are freaking running through the house. You're like, I paid good money for this. I want to be able to see the house. I don't want to run through it.
Yeah, and a lot of the houses this year have like scenes that play out, so you need to like kind of see see there and go walk through a little slower than normal. So
yeah, there's a lot of delayed scenes and scenes that have to seem like they're a little slower to reset.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But the next one we're going to talk about is one that is very fast paced and very intense, and insane and awesome and crazy and congested and
sweaty and hyper and
yeah, we're talking about
stressful.
Scarecrow, the Reaping.
Oh yeah,
this house is sick. Like this is like one of the coolest houses, one of the most intense houses.
One of my favorite originals.
It's the closest thing to like Shallow Grave I think that Universal has done. Like, to give me that feeling, like that like real visceral feeling with their scare actors.
Yeah, like that house in Lakeland that we like to go to.
Exactly, like really high intensity scare actors in this one, and they are all big guys.
Oh my god,
over 6 foot.
He wasn't.
Yeah,
kidding.
I think they said there's no people under 6'2" in the house.
Yeah, and some of them are like skinny, lanky guys. Some of them are just like big, huge dudes.
And it did feel like the Tomb house. It just felt like.
Yeah, well, Tomb of the Ancients.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
because of all the vines and stuff that were hanging down at the beginning.
And
that whole
even
front
those
section
like,
felt the same.
Yeah, and even those like things that come out through the wall, they made them look like scarecrows this year, but they were mummies in Tomb of the Ancients.
It had to have been. Where some are real, some are fake.
Oh, you're talking about the drop doors?
Well, no, just the ones that are like up on the wall, like they're coming out. You only see them like from the torso up.
Yeah.
And then some of them are actual like people that are in there. But I love the look of these scarecrows, and there's actually, if you can stop for a second and pay attention to what they look like each one has their own like unique look. All the masks they made are like each one is a one-off, really cool design. Like some of them, they're all made of like the burlap and hay, going through it and stuff. But they've done like really cool stuff. Like one of them has like an X through the eye, like with hay, and the other ones have like one of them might have its mouth sewn shut, and they just did a lot of cool different, like made each one look unique.
And it's so loud.
This one is another one I feel may be a slight bit too dark as well. Yeah. I guess that kind of fits with the theming, but like I feel like if it was just a tad bit lighter, you'd be able to see more of the details of the costumes and stuff, because it can be missed.
Mm-hmm.
And this one seems like it's kind of you can miss some scares in it too. There's a lot of scares, but there's some you can miss if you don't hit them in the right order.
Yeah.
But how about that freaking outhouse that splashes you with water?
Yeah, that's
pretty funny.
That's a good one. I also like that they, again, like the house that was there, Tomb of the Ancients, they used those, what were ropes in Tomb of the Ancients, and in this one were the roots of the plants and stuff, because you are underground in this house, and they show you that in one scene. You have to be paying attention when you go through and realize that's what they're trying to show you, but you see like the collapsed house, but it's above you, way above you.
Yeah, that's a sick scene, dude. I love where the floor is falling out.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're like in the basement and you're under these crops, and it's really cool, because I this made me do some research on the actual Dust Bowl and what happened, and it's that the farmers that were tilling the land back then didn't know how to do it there, basically, and they tilled the land up too much, and it created these huge dust storms that killed everything, but it also eroded the land from the underneath. So it created these underground cavern kind of things under the crops that would collapse down and then send up
almost
more
like
dust through the
sinkholes.
Exactly, and those would collapse down and shoot dust up like crazy.
They're like dry sinkholes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So, and that's what you're walking through when you're going through there. So, knowing that gave me an even more uneasy feeling as I'm going through, because I'm like, oh man, this is going to collapse down on me now, and this is going to shoot up. And that's also what contributes to the darkness too, because during a dust storm, it's like complete pitch black, even if the sun's out, which is, which I can see that they want to go with the realism with that, but like you said, I'd also like to see a little bit more of the details. But I think they do a good job of keeping that balance there.
But it's also like in the outdoor sections, because there is some outdoor sections with like the windmill and everything. How much more scary is it to be in a pitch black? Like that's in every like a scarecrow movie or like any horror movie. To be honest with you, being in a cornfield when it's pitch black outside and like don't know where you're going, and that's I feel like that's a lot of people's nightmares. And then you got big 6'2" to 6'8" scarecrows trying to get you at every minute. But that fallen floor scene with the house, I think that's one of my favorite scenes in that. Pretty amazing.
Yep. So this one is an awesome house. So props to them on this one for making one of the originals, one of the best ones. I love when they do that. So next we're going to talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead. We're going to Jacksonville. So Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Well, this was my first house that I did for this event when I was alone. And yes, my eyes hadn't adjusted, so I did have to wait till I did it again and again and again and again and again and again. Love this house.
It's definitely a fun house.
Yeah.
Not watching this. You haven't seen the show, right, Travis?
I've seen the first season.
Knowing, just that you've seen the first season, do you still enjoy the house a lot? Even if you don't know all the references and stuff?
I think just because because I could tell there's a lot of comedy in the house. So I think even not even watching it, I think I would still enjoy it just for the kind of comedy fun aspect. Like, it's not obviously not a scary house, but there's a lot of cool gags in it that they do in it.
Yeah.
Especially if you have seen the show. I think you'll definitely appreciate it a lot more if you've seen it. I guess that's with any IP house.
Yeah.
But I think you can enjoy it no matter what.
Yeah, but this one they really do throw a lot of homages to people that watched all the way through.
We're just clapping through the whole house. Yeah, we're just cheering.
They definitely included some of the best scenes, and the dialogue is great.
My only gripe is I don't think the Ash's body types in this are consistent.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they have too many different sized guys, weight wise.
That's when you gotta go back and think, it's just a theme park, and they're only going to be there for a couple of months. They're like, close enough.
Yeah.
You got a square enough jaw. We can put some putty on there. You're good.
I'm complaining just to complain.
But you're also,
that's my complaint.
But you're also 5 feet tall. Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
But
it's not so much. It's not so much that. Like, they had some skinny guys.
Yeah, they did. Like some really young.
He's got you get a little bit older guys with a little bit of a belly on them, or at least put you could put like a. That's like one of the easiest things to do is put a belly on somebody, even if they're skinny. And I don't feel like they did that. Yeah, but true. Maybe they'll do that as the event goes on. Who knows? It's not the most important thing, but it's just something that kind of caught my attention.
Yeah. Yeah, but little Ashy Slashy makes an appearance.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Which is pretty great. The person that's doing that all day. That's got to be on your
that's
shoulders. That's got to hurt. But
and he had his
they're
girlfriend.
used to that, though, right?
Oh yeah, I guess
They're a puppeteer.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend, her head.
Oh
made
yeah,
an appearance,
and that's really good too. Like the effect in that room just looks really good. It looks like
talking about the vice scene.
Yeah, the vice grip, and that's a real person in there, so that just makes it even better. Like the effect wise.
Yeah, I was still trying to figure out how they did that. I think I kind of get how they get it, but it doesn't seem like it'd be comfortable position.
No, they don't care about how comfortable you are.
They're going to have back pain for a long time. Bending all backwards.
You're young. It's okay.
But yeah, that is a funny scene where she just doesn't shut up. She just keeps talking the whole time you're in there.
And they have an employee like right next to her, making sure no one's messing with her.
Oh yeah, like right there on that one. Yeah, and
his head up in the butt.
And I'll just say, hello, P-words.
Kitties.
Dude, that was so funny.
Hello, kitty.
Yeah. I'm surprised they have that in there.
Yeah, really. This event is recommended for children aged 13 and up.
How many?
So I guess they can hear.
There's going to be some people that bring their little kids and they're going to have to ask their parents what that means.
Yeah.
Like,
or to start saying it at home. Go for it.
Don't worry about it.
Encourage it.
Brought you to horror nights anyways.
The only thing that I didn't like about the house is that scene, like towards the middle where you're actually outside the cabin. I feel like it's so beautiful. You've got the cabin, the trees. You have one of the characters in the show, one of the just random characters was like running for her life, and she comes out like, "Help me!" and she runs.
Like gets sucked up behind the.
Yeah, but that's it. And he comes out and says, "Oh, I've got two. I know I've only got one hand. Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And I was just like, "That's it." It's such a huge set, and it's beautiful. The cabin's right here. This is so cool. And he just comes out and goes in. I'm like, no. I wish it was like a fighting scene or something.
Yeah, and it seems like they could have at least, if they weren't going to change up the scene, at least change up. Well, I guess it's kind of changing up the scene, but change up what he says.
Yeah.
So you don't get the same thing every time. Like they could at least do like another one, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just another saying that he says.
Yeah, he says so many different like things. He's got so many catchphrases, and they just said something that I don't even remember right now.
Yeah.
Do you think they just took those straight from the show, or do you think he redid them for the house?
They probably just cut them out of the show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because you can kind of tell some of them.
Yeah, well, you can tell that that's his actual voice in there as opposed to The Shining.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Hermione Granger, a little off there.
I mean, it's close.
Yeah,
but it's like a little way more exaggerated than.
Yeah, exactly. Again, which is like what they seem to do with that house all the way through. So that's cool. But yeah, they definitely used Bruce Campbell's voice in this one to go through, and actually, I think some of the other characters as well used their actual voices, because the lady that says that was her demon form's voice. That says hello. Yep, that one.
So I went through that one time. I can't remember who it was with, but we were just laughing, and we actually got the scare actor to laugh.
Yeah,
after
that's gonna be a fun one. It's like saying it over and over is a little repetitive, but seeing people's reactions every time you do it's got to be great.
Nice.
I'm anxious to see if that stays the whole event.
I hope so. Come on.
Either that, or they just add a bleep to it.
Yeah, but I don't know. People can't even handle a Bill and Ted show anymore, so
right.
I think you'll see more and more of that phased out, or a mixed drink at a bar. But anyways,
We digress.
Yeah, let's go with the last house here, and that is last and certainly least, Saw.
Did I sound like
Yeah, you sounded like him at the second part that you just did.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
That was.
You want to play a game? You are the game. What?
What? Me?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had the power this whole time.
Yeah, when we were going in, she's like, the girl's like, keep up or you'll be Jigsaw's next victim, and we're like, please.
You think I'm scared of him?
I'm gonna go real slow, because this is
Billy or Pig Saw.
Yeah, this is a house that they expect you to have seen every single Saw movie and know what's gonna happen, because they give you like a little bit of prep on the monitors when you're walking through, but it's not enough.
Yeah, because they have these. So throughout the house, they have these little sets of different deaths. So you have a character like in a chair with something on their head where they have to escape, or their hands are tied to something and they have to gnaw off their hand or whatever.
They just don't look good.
Yeah, and a couple of times I was having to tell Nina that hasn't seen all of the Saw movies. I haven't even seen all of them, but some of them
I haven't seen any Saw movies.
You've seen one, you've seen them all.
Well, just tell her like what was happening in that kill, because
Yeah.
it's not even clear if you don't see the actual kill happening as you walk through.
Right, that's stupid. Yeah. That's
Saw.
Saw. I want to play.
Yeah,
He wants to play a game.
Don't like my house. Josh.
Don't open it. Don't.
Oh
open
no. See y'all later. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Overall, I'd say this is probably the weakest houses in the Shrek theater.
I don't know. I like
not
Krampus.
that that's an excuse.
Yeah, because I liked Krampus. I mean, I didn't love Krampus, but I liked Krampus.
Yeah.
More than I like Saw.
Yeah, that's true.
But I still like Saw more than I like Alice.
I don't even feel like people that like Saw like the house.
Yeah, it's just
That's the house where all the high school kids are. Have you noticed? All the
like,
young kids are in that house.
There's usually a pretty long line there.
That's fine. All the high schoolers can stay there.
Yeah, it's cool.
What's
I
been
won't
killing
be
me
there.
is I've seen that line at 40 minutes at the same time The Shining and American Horror Story were at 20.
Yes.
How? What? Why? Huh? Okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do, okay. But the one problem that I have with this is timing and being rushed through. Because I think they got more crowds than they anticipated. They made these scenes last too long.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there's like one or two scenes that are decent in this house,
yeah, if they actually happen at the times where you can see them,
and it's not even like kill scenes or anything. It's just like the bathroom scene looks pretty good to me. I've never even seen the movie, but where you walk through the bathroom with the body on the floor and everything.
Yeah.
That looks kind of cool. And
yeah, not enough going on in there.
No, maybe that's the only one.
I think they should have actually had like a character on the ground, like acting like he's sawing his foot off or something, instead of just a dummy with its foot gone.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very.
Especially
many
because
scares
in the
at all.
movie he actually crawls out of the room before he dies. He gets out of the room. He's
taking a nap.
So,
Little nap.
yeah, that part doesn't work for me. And then also the rib splitter. That's
stupid.
Yeah, it looks so bad when you actually see it. This last run through, we had to actually saw the effect after.
Is that the last room, like for the new movie?
No, the rib
just the one
splitters
with the
where
girl,
it's
right?
like it's like a corset, but it's like attached and it like rips you. It's supposed to like rip you apart.
But it's so much wider than her body; it doesn't even look real.
Oh, is that what that is?
Exactly. And then once it opens up, she's got this like one little like circular wound like on her belly, basically.
Do you know? I have
Maybe if she
no
weighed
idea
like
what
400
that was.
pounds,
Yeah.
it would work.
I had
But
no idea.
no.
Yeah, exactly.
You just
That's
told
what
me
I'm
what it
saying.
was.
If you haven't seen it, the actual movie, and seen that scene, then you have no idea like what it's even supposed to, what they're talking about.
Right.
And then there's like the scalper scene, which they don't even show you the most intense part of the scene is like they have to use a hand crank to scalp themselves, basically.
No. Yeah, it's like
What
this
scene
little
is-
altar with a scalp hanging from.
What scene is that?
There's one where there's just a chair. There's a
Is
chair.
it a
with-
live actor in it?
No, she's on the
Or
floor
scare
at
action?
our level, and
Yeah.
she just comes from the side.
She comes
of
from
it
the
on
side
left.
and she's scalped, and she like touches her head, like.
Yeah, she's
And then you can see her scalp up there, like
Hanging on
attached to
chains.
the machine.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the chair where she would have
That's
been
lame.
sitting.
Yeah, and then they have like the scissor face guy, but they didn't make it so he could actually push through, because the whole point of that is that there's all these scissors and razor blades
Right.
and stuff on his face, and he actually has to push through with his face to get
Yeah.
through them to let himself out of the machine.
He's just sitting there
But
screaming
yeah, he's just
behind
sitting
it,
there.
right?
Yeah, so it's like, okay,
Do something.
yeah, do it. Push your face through those things.
So yeah, we just had a bunch of traps that didn't look very good, that didn't do anything at all,
And a lot of chain link and fake barbed wire. Like that's the theme of this house. But
and a lot of old monitors.
yes,
Yeah.
but let me say one thing.
Fat backs, I call them.
That's
Guest
the old security
activated.
system for Universal.
Yes, let me say one thing is guest activated triggers in this one.
Oh yeah,
Scary.
The gats are good.
The scariest
that's the
thing.
only redeeming quality
We
of this
finally
house.
got all three of them to work for us as we went through.
Don't do it so scary.
So yeah, so you've got like
That
the,
last one's the worst.
yeah. Well, the first one is pretty bad too. Like that was another really loud noise. What was that? It was like
Like a truck.
no, that was the last one.
Oh.
I never.
remember.
I
The
never
first
know
one was
because-
another loud noise. I don't know if it was the Billy laugh or if it was. But
Some
no,
of
it
them
was so
don't
loud
work
that
all
you had
the
to
time.
cover your ears.
Yeah, well, I'm a baby, so
Oh no, it was
pretty loud.
it was very loud.
I don't remember.
For the
Remember that
first
big
And
one,
then the
I know
second
that
one-
train horn is really loud.
Yeah, the train horn's at the end. Then they have the one that's just an air blaster to yourself. That's the second
You
one.
want to touch stuff? We're gonna blast stuff at you, getting other people. But doesn't
Exactly.
the first one happen like behind you or in front of you?
It felt like we were right there because I mean, we were close enough to actually hear it happen. I think it happens right behind you, but they had it going.
It's like right. So maybe maybe it's just a trick on you to touch the triggers. You just get yourself blasted with
wanna play a
sounds and
game?
air. Yeah, you think you're getting somebody else, but you're just screwing yourself.
Exactly. That sounds like a punishment of Jigsaw proportions.
Right? You want to touch my butt? Don't touch my butt.
Yeah. All right. Oh, we are.
We did it.
Yes, we got through the houses. We're running long. Actually, we're at an hour already.
We want to read through our tops
That's pretty
real
crazy.
quick.
Yeah.
We can go through. I feel like scare zones are. We can go pretty quickly on these.
Yeah, I think so. But
Is that
first,
what you wanted to do next?
Well, first though, I want to since we're still on the houses, let's do our rankings.
Okay.
So we're gonna go from the bottom to the top.
From the bottom to the top. Yes.
Should we go one at a time?
So I'll do like 9, and then you say
9
what
to
it
1.
is, I say, and then Travis says, and then we'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to just have like one person go through their list? It'd be easier
At a
to
time.
tell.
We can do 9 to 1 each of us.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it. So we'll go Nina, Travis, me.
What? Okay, ladies first. What's up? Number 9, Saw. What a surprise. Number 8,
Wait,
Same.
what?
no, we're going
Oh.
through them one at
We're going through.
like 9.
I'm
9,
sorry.
9. Yeah,
Well, I don't follow
I'm
rules.
the,
Okay,
I'm-
I'm the
I like-
same as you. 9. Saw
Yay.
for me.
and I am the same. Saw at number 9.
Yay. Number 8, The Fallen.
You guys are gonna like me for this, but I got Hive at 8 right now.
What? We can't be
Hey,
friends.
you are entitled.
Probably not gonna like the
Sure.
next one either. But
Mine is also fallen on that one.
You're a copycat.
I did my list first.
I know. Number 7, Blumhouse. I know it's Bloom, but I want to say Blum.
it is Blum.
Jesus,
It's
I
not
keep
Blum.
confusing
There's
myself.
no E on it. It's Blum.
Oh my god. I heard something on YouTube. I watched a video and it said Bloom, and then now it's stuck. Okay, Blumhouse. Because I can't pronounce it.
I'm at Ash vs Evil Dead right now.
Ooh.
On 7. Yeah.
I too am at Blumhouse.
Get out of here. Number 6, Dead Waters.
Fallen for me is 6.
Wow. I think somebody's copying my list here.
Are you
Because my number
serious?
6 is Dead
I,
Waters.
I did not see your list. Get out of here.
Really?
Okay, number 5, American Horror Story.
Same. American Horror Story.
My number 5 is Hive.
What? Hive?
Yes.
Boo. Number 4, The Shining.
I got Scarecrow at 4.
And I have American Horror Story at 4.
Okay, number 3, I have Scarecrow.
3, I have Blumhouse of Horrors.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh, it's so high up there. Who are you? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
And for my number 3, I have The Shining.
Number 2, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Shining is 2 for me.
And Ash vs. Evil Dead is my number 2 as well.
Number 1 is The Hive, believe it or not.
I'm Dead Waters all the way for
Oh my
1.
gosh.
Yeah. And I am Scarecrow for number 1.
Wow, we're all different.
I think
Hey,
I think
yeah.
it tells you that, I mean, Nina and I had some similarities there, but I think that's to be expected.
We're like the same
obviously.
person anymore. We've been together so long. We're like the same.
But even for us to, diverge a lot towards the top there, and for Travis's list to be completely different than ours, I think shows you
Yeah.
that this year is pretty solid all around.
Yeah.
Except for Saw. We'll say.
Right. We can just wipe that one off the list.
Yeah, really. But like everything else is so good. It was hard for me. Like, of course, I knew Fallen for me was going to be towards the bottom. Bloomhouse. Maybe I'm just giving him trouble because I'm just kind of tired of Insidious more than anything. I think.
Right, and I think that's why it's higher up on my list, because I actually do like Insidious, and I just recently rewatched them, so maybe it's good and fresh in my mind. Maybe you need to watch them again.
Yeah.
Are all the originals at our tops? I
What's
have
that?
Hive. You have
Well,
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Dead Waters.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
originals.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
I kind of figured that was how it was gonna happen anyways. And like I said, like I want to see how much our lists change from this to the end of the event.
Even I bet next weekend I will have come up with a different list. To be honest, because the scare actors learn different things. They learn how to do their houses better.
We need to try to get in and do some houses early so we can do some doubles and then get in with our express and do them so we can have maybe multiple runs on some of the houses to see if it changes anything, because I do feel like there's something that's been lacking in some of the houses, so it could very well be just bad timing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I want to say I've had my most run-throughs through Deadwater, like I would say my top 3, I probably had the most run-throughs, so maybe that's why.
Very possible.
That's higher on my list. Yeah. I think, to be honest with you, I think I've went through the Fallen the least out of all of them. So to put that on 6 on my list is kind of still pretty decent for that. So maybe it'll move up as I go through them. So
yeah. Certainly. So yeah, let's go on, like you said, to the scare zones. I think this will be pretty quick for us to go through because a lot of them are Well, let's start with.
Are we going to do it the same way?
Yeah, sure. We'll start with number J. Altars of Horror. Yep.
J.
Number J, Altars of Horror. Yeah. So this is your kind of a selfie zone, even though the guys are a little bit more active than I thought they would be. Yeah,
it's not a good zone for like just people walking through it, but like for me, I actually had fun in the zones. I was able to get some pretty cool pictures with like some shallow depth of field to some of that stuff.
And they got some like really nice pale spotlights, and they tend to walk through them, every once in a while. So
yeah, it's you definitely have to. It's not something that most people think that they just like stop and pose for you and stuff, but it's not, especially if you're doing it at night. Mm-hmm. You got to like find them in the right light, or that they're just not going to look good.
Yeah.
So it does take a little bit of time of following them around and trying to get certain, bokeh in the background and stuff like that. Some looks better with different lighting and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've gotten some kind of cool daytime stuff too. So I think most people won't like this unless you're like a photographer or people that like getting selfies and stuff. So
yeah, but it's at a spot where they can't really put too much out there and clog it up because it's the main thoroughfare into the park. So they can't go crazy with it. But they did go really light on the characters on this. You've got the twins from The Shining. You've got Pedro from Ash vs. Evil Dead, and the girl as in her demon form.
I feel like they've been adding more and more characters, because I don't feel like Carlos was out there, or Pablo.
Pablo, yes.
you always call him Carlos. Pablo, I don't think he was out there like the first weekend. I didn't ever see him. Yeah. I saw like the old weird grandma looking one in the sweater.
Oh, yeah.
Tracksuit kind of thing, yeah.
Hopefully that'll be cool if they add more and more characters as the event goes on. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they don't have Ash out there because he would just be a photo op, because that's for real. He wouldn't be scaring anybody. That's not his thing. So he would just be standing there taking pictures.
Yeah, most people overlook this zone, but to be honest with you, I think they nailed the costumes in a lot of these ones. Like the Black Bride, the one from Insidious.
Oh, they have a really tall, lanky person doing that most of the time. That is really creepy.
Yeah.
Yes. And does a really good job of gliding, because it just seems like they're gliding around from place to place. They're really effective.
It's just so creepy with that. They're wearing that. She's wearing that veil, that black veil, just comes towards you.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't even notice this, but Horror Nights, the actual official Horror Nights, actually shared that. That Black Bride photo I have where she's like reaching, or he is reaching, like in the camera. It's like a really shallow. You can only like focus on the hand. Horror Nights actually shared that one the other day, and I didn't even notice that.
Oh, cool!
Oh, wow.
I remember them asking for permission for it, but but it was Universal that asked for it. It was, I guess they can share them on any of them. Yeah. But yeah, if you're a photographer, I think this is a cool zone if you get the right shots. But to anybody else, it's just boring.
Yeah. Next up is The Purge, which is exactly like The Purge was a couple of years ago.
Different costumes. I feel it's more like national. It's more like
political, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot more of those cute
Abraham Lincoln and George Washington.
4th of July decorations and
Is this your 4th too, Nina?
Is this my what?
Aren't we ranking these?
No, I just was going around clockwise.
Oh no, we're just doing these around the. Oh, you did the rankings for them.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were ranking them.
Oh no, sorry. I
thought you were going 5-1.
Oh ranking. No, I was just doing the reviews first, and then going to do the ranking. So.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just talking about the Purge Zone, it's very similar to what it was before. There's, like you said, there's a lot more political stuff in there. There's some new masks.
Mm-hmm.
Those light up masks are really cool, though.
Yeah, I like those a lot.
And like in the last movie where they had the car that was covered in the webbing Christmas lights, those are out there. Yeah. That girl from the movie in the corset and her hair's in little buns. She's there. But the same as a couple years ago, we had the big truck, the big box truck, and they did have the same scene there in front of the
auction,
the Blues Brothers. You know, that little alley there. They had
that vehicle's a little different, though, right? It looks more of like a U-Haul truck. Didn't they used to use like an old like milk box truck almost? For that when they rode through there at that zone?
Well, it looked pretty close to the same thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Did they have the school bus in 24 with that stage?
Yeah.
So that's the same.
Yeah, they used the top of the school bus just the same way, the scaffolding above the school bus, and then the only thing new is the cleanup crew, the wood chipper that sprays a decent amount of water in every direction when it does that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And they had that little thing set up right next to Ben and Jerry's there. It's like a scaffolding with like
it's
body.
Like a weird like stage with two big like gigantic bodies on there that people just go up there randomly and hit them with bats and stuff. Like, all right, cool. Well, so I mean it's still
I still like it a lot because I love the Scare Zone last time. I still love it now. It's chaotic and I
and I really like the movies personally. I like the concept of it. So
you anarchists, jeez.
Yeah. So I just think it's cool and I like seeing that zone there. I wish they had more of like an NFFA, the New Founding Fathers, the resistance movement basically. Like they're like trying to set up stuff against them or something. That would be neat. Every once in a while, that'd be a neat little show or something.
They have more of the projections in the windows where like you can see people's shadows moving around.
So definitely solid, but not enough new in my opinion. I would have liked to see more new stuff. So the next one's a weird one, and that's Invasion.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one.
Yeah,
I'm still feeling it out.
The first night when they opened it up, or the second night I should say, because we were media the opening night, but the second night when I was walking through, like they were trying to play it so serious. Like the aliens were like trying to act menacing, but they looked kind of goofy, especially
they didn't have
the
enough
white
of
gown ones.
Yeah, they didn't have enough of those, and the other ones that are like the smaller aliens, the green ones.
Yeah.
But they had a bunch of those big purple ones with it looks like they have like a big.
Oh, it looked like a character from Doom or something.
Yeah, it's like they're cute.
No, yeah, but the my other big problem are the army guys on there that are trying to act like terrified by what's happening, and it's just like really bad look for them. I don't know, because you got like little kids walking by and they're like, "Please help us! You gotta help us!" Like you have to make your zone believable. Like even if it's going to be goofy or whatever, it has to be goofy in a funny way. And I think over time, even in the short time that it's been open, they have really evolved that Scare Zone, the actors themselves, into a funnier concept. Because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about like at one point the aliens brought them over to the car. And the car plays music out of it, so the alien is like trying to like get a beat, and like so he's like looking at the people and like trying to get a beat going with them, and then the person showed him like the devil horn salute, so the alien started doing it, and then they said when they walked through the zone later, that same alien saw him again. And he's throwing up the devil horns to him and everything, and pointing at the car. And then other times like people go to take selfies with him or something like that, and then they act like what the heck is that device, and they try to take your phone.
my buddy Skip took a selfie with one of them. It was like all like balled up and like had its arms like all folded up like and was backing away. Like, what the heck is that thing?
Oh, that is too funny. But yeah. And even the couple of army guys they have there have gotten a little funnier too, as far as their interactions are acting like like campy 50s army guys like Gomer Pyles over there, basically. So,
right. I feel like this is a zone that would be cool to like hang out in just to see, but there's no room to hang out in it.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. Like I don't even feel like the benches are there. Like they were last year for Dead Man's Wharf because they've got all that army stuff set up there, sandbags.
Yeah, they pulled up all the benches there for sure. So, yeah, and if you try to hang out anywhere near those crates, then the army guys will just be bugging you the whole time. So you kind of have to sit at one end or the other, or stand up there. But with like
shut up, dude! I'm trying to enjoy the scare zone. Why you keep talking to me?
Exactly.
Man? Like,
die in peace back there. Come on.
I got nothing else to do.
So yeah, it's more of like a campy, fun one, I guess. So yeah, it's a good one to spend a little bit of time in, maybe take a break and just meander around there slowly. So
for sure.
Next one I'd say is, come on, it's everybody's favorite, right? It's Trick or Treat.
Yeah,
this
my favorite,
hands down.
They killed this zone. It's so great. Like they incorporated not just the main movie. They put a little bit of each of the short stories in there as well. You've got 2 live Barker characters. You've got the guy who's killing the boy. I'm going to make a jack-o'-lantern out of his head. So he's got his vomiting thing, but he's actually up there talking to people as they walk by.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes he's on the stoop. Sometimes he's like walking around.
Yeah,
it's the principal, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then
the wife who was put up on the little wooden cross where they had
and
the
I like
ghosts.
at the opening, right when the event opens, they've got those all covered up, and then at some point in the night, I don't know what time, they take it down so you can see them.
5:50.
No,
it's a really cool.
It's a late.
It's a really cool photo spot too because of all the Christmas lights and stuff that are in there, like
the
orange lights. Yeah,
and then they have like a purple hue around everything as well. So
yeah. And for what I'm hearing, that thing is that big pumpkin at the end of the scare zone, right there in Central Park, like the big open area, is supposed to be shooting more flames out. Oh, that thing shoots big flames out of it, right?
Yeah, and I haven't seen it personally, but
I saw it.
I've seen people's videos and stuff of it, but
man, I want to get a photo of that.
Yes, definitely. But
we're so used to the dragon, so I'm used to like, and then it goes poof. But it's still cool.
Yeah,
when they do it.
And then you also got the other Barker character, the old man from that's next door to the principal's house, and
with a very bad wig.
Yeah, yes. and he walks around and he's like, "Is there a problem here?" And he's like, anytime there's a group of teenagers, he goes over to him. He's like, "I don't like you guys congregating around here." Get
off the lawn.
Yeah, exactly. So I like him playing that character. That's pretty great. And then the school bus kids, oh my gosh, they're so creepy. They're like paper mache mask. The paper bag mask is the one that gets me.
With the teeth.
Yes, I love that thing so much.
That thing is so fun. Is that one in the movie? I don't remember seeing that one.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh my god. And then the one with the upside down face.
Yeah, that one.
My favorite is the vampire.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that guy's the best.
Yeah.
One there.
I like the skeleton with the...
Yeah, on the...
I got photos of that one.
On stilts, right? That guy?
Well, there's a shorter one, too.
Oh, yeah.
It has like a kid mask on. It's supposed to, I think it's supposed to look like a kid, and it's got like the big orange bucket. The Halloween candy bucket.
Gotcha. Yeah, the stilt guy is becoming a bit of a Horror Night celebrity.
Oh, really?
Because whoever's playing him is hilarious. Like, they do a lot of funny stuff. Like, media night when we were going through the opening night, and I was like filming as we were walking through the zone. He sees me filming, and he points down at my camera, and he like points at himself like, "What, me?" And he's like holding his hands like, "Oh, you shouldn't have." You know?
He's bashful?
Yes, exactly. And he's like hiding behind his hands, and then he's like, but he's also like, "No, take a picture, please." So, like,
I need to hang out in there a little bit more. Yeah. I've gotten a decent amount of photos in there, but I need to hang out in there a little bit more and interact with them.
Every time I'm in that zone, there's like 6 photographers just standing around waiting to see what he's going to do next. So definitely dig him.
So. And then you've got the couple different versions of Sam in there too.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and they have one that actually sits back in the prop area sometimes in there. They have like a drain pipe looking thing, like a big circular thing.
Yeah.
And there's actually a Sam that sits in there, And I thought it was a prop one, but Nina pointed out he's waving to everybody and everything, and she's got a picture of it. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, up on the grass.
Maybe they just change it up every so often.
Yeah, he was like back in the grass section, which I thought that would be a better place for him because I'm sure that's just people taking selfies with him the whole time.
Yeah.
And then that big, huge, like circular, helmet that they have to wear for that is kind of dangerous because people are going to be knocking into you and stuff.
Right.
Being as small as Sam is, but yeah. So,
probably harder to see through that too.
Yeah, that's got to be.
It looks kind of a pain in the butt, but yeah, that the Sam at the end with like the pumpkin face blown off is kind of cool.
Yeah, and then finally we'll talk about Festival of the Deadliest. This was a slow starter for sure because opening night, the whole opening weekend, I'd say a lot of the stands weren't even out there.
Yeah,
a lot of the scare actors weren't
dark.
there. It was really dark, not lit at all, and just very empty.
I feel like this one's going to ramp up, though.
But, as we left Sunday night, as we were leaving there, it was packed with scare actors. Like,
really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the stripper zone, though.
That's what I said.
Yeah, they do have the stripper poles up there. And they have a big central stage, and we're like, oh, what are they going to do for this? And it was just like other people dancing on that stage.
That's the one that we saw in the back by the parade building, right? During the media event.
Sitting next to the Seuss. Dr.
Seuss. I feel like they have more intentions with that. Like they're going to do some kind of
like a show or a sacrifice or something cool.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like she made it seem like that they're going to coincide with the Academy of Villains show as well. So I don't know if it's going to be like you get out of Academy of Villains and walk down Festival of Deadliest and they're going to do stuff there or what. But from what I heard from one of our tour guides is it seemed like it was going to be kind of intermingling.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
So, we'll see. But yeah. That's these scare zones for this year. They're kind of light, all of them. I say Trick or Treat is definitely like the most fleshed out of the zones. Invasion, I guess, would take second place as far as like how much detail is in it.
Yeah,
like, the other ones are pretty bare. Like
I think the scare zones are. I mean, I hate to say it, but they're pretty weak this year.
Yeah. So let's let's start off at number 5. So Nina, what'd you have for your number 5?
I'll do Festival of the Deadliest.
All right, Travis.
I've got Altars of Horror just for the looks of it. Like, I mean, it's boring.
Exactly.
So.
I'm gonna go with Altars of Horror too, just for the limited number of scare actors and no sets.
Yeah.
To say so. Number
could have
4?
been better if they would have just put a couple props out there or something. I don't know. Made a stage for each of them or something, so they don't just have to roam randomly around. So.
Gotcha. Yep. Number 4.
Altars of Horror. Same reasons.
Travis.
From what I've seen right now, I'm going to go with Festival of the Deadliest for 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one too. Those
are the weakest too.
Yeah, definitely.
It's obvious.
So number 3.
Invasion.
Same. I've got Invasion as well.
Oh, okay. It's hard. Yeah, I'm going to go with Invasion as well. I guess these are pretty much everybody's gonna have the same one. So
and then Purge,
obviously Purge, and then number 1 Trick or Treat. Yeah,
yeah.
We'll just cut that.
Number 1 plus far and ahead of any other one is Trick or Treat.
Yeah. Those guys should be really proud of their zone. They're doing a great job this year, and the scare actors.
You got a buddy in there, right?
Yes, we do.
One of the demented children.
Yes. We won't say who. We'll keep him safe. His identity is protected. But yeah, definitely killing it. Like all the actors are doing a great job in there.
I've never had a Central Park scare zone be my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's what I was so surprised. I'm like, never have I ever.
Yeah,
I think most people could say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going crazy with the fog. Like they have like a nice atmosphere of fog, like especially around the tops of the trees and where the purple light
pumpkins.
is. Yeah, but it's like it's not down on the ground where you are, so it's not choking out the scare zone like it normally does there.
Yeah, I feel like it's just overall top to bottom a good scare zone. Like there's just stuff surrounding you everywhere. Like there's not like top to bottom. You got pumpkins in the trees, lights and scare actors all around you. I mean, the sets are I mean, it's just weird doors. I guess it makes sense for the zone. Yeah. But I think just overall. Plus I feel like the sound effects are pretty good in it too. You get that kind of creepy howl that you get from the movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a wolf or something, but it's obviously a person that does it.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, because they do incorporate that too, like the werewolf short film that they have in there as well. So
when
they get the girls going through and all that. So
and they transform.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, definitely solid. I haven't been through Trick or Treat at the very end. Maybe they, instead of having the girls there, they actually have werewolves at the end. Who
That'd
knows?
Be so cool.
Because it does change. Like
you should have half werewolf, half Cinderella.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, all those people that are up on the stakes at the opening of the event, they're all covered in white sheets completely. And then like it's got to be like 8, 9, 10 o'clock. They take the white sheets down, and you can see all the like the heads on the pikes and the Christmas lights and everything that are underneath it as you go. So that one does evolve. So make sure you hit it like when the lights are still out during the day, and then later on at night too, because it changes as you go. So definitely super strong. And that's what we wanted from Trick or Treat, and I want to see a house now really bad.
Please.
And it's we got it with Dead Waters this year, so hopefully next year we get that. And then just real quick run through, Academy of Villains haven't been doing their regular show. They've been doing their Hurricane Irma shows, but they've been doing a really good job with it.
We saw it.
We saw one of them. I've heard they've been doing variations. Each show is just a little bit different that they're doing.
Still a good time.
Yeah.
Different songs or whatever.
Hopefully finally this weekend it'll be back to their at least a modified version of their original stage, because
I hope they're Rush of Fear.
So you guys can see it.
Yeah, because what they have on there doesn't look right to me. It doesn't look like the same stage that they're setting up the big stage again. But
they need to do something. People are gonna really, really start complaining.
Yeah.
Plus, don't forget they're paying these guys a lot of money to do 10-minute sets.
Yeah,
so.
Very true. And then Bill and Ted's last appearance at Halloween Horror Nights.
I bought the shirt.
The farewell tour. I bought the mug.
So, what did you guys think? Because I think I feel a little different, but
I'm gonna say it's okay. It was okay. It was good. They had a couple of nice little send-offs for him. On Twitter, before they even, as soon as they announced the farewell tour, I tweeted at Horror Nights saying, "You better include the Grim Reaper in the show." And they're like, we think you should probably watch it, or something like to that effect, or something. So I was really happy to see them use him. And
I feel like he's the shining light, kind of the shining light of the show.
Yeah. And, have a lot of his catchphrases from the movie, and actually reference the movies a lot more than they typically do in these things. The other stuff around it, they did get a little political, but they kept it really, really soft. They actually used Saturday Night, they were parodying Saturday Night Live's parodies, basically. So that's kind of, it was a very safe show, I will say, for them. And at the very end was a nice little send off for them. I think personally.
I've only seen the last 3 years of Bill and Ted's, so...
Yeah, I like that they,
25, 20.
had a little, clip there that showed, all the past actors, the past years of... Because they've been doing it for 26 of the 27 years.
Yeah. I feel like it's just too many people this year running on nostalgia and kind of blowing the show up a little bit more than I think deserves.
Mm-hmm. People are saying it's the best Bill and Ted ever, and then I just felt like you were saying.
I just felt like it was any other year, another year of Bill and Ted.
And they just had this little montage at the end,
Yeah, I think
sweet, but
how people get when things close. Everybody wants to be a part of something when they don't care about it, or they want to dog it.
Yeah.
When it's there, but then when it's the last year they hear it. Yeah. Of course, you knew that was going to happen. There was going to be people saying it's the best thing ever just because they want to say that they were a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds kind of morbid to say, but it's kind of the truth. You know what I mean? People complained about it and said it sucked year and year and year, and now it's gone, and now it's, oh my god, I can't believe it's going away.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit of a shock that it's going, but at the same time, the kids don't know who Bill and Ted are. Like they're not watching the old movies. You know, that's one of those things that have kind of faded on, I'd say.
It is a bummer. It is a bummer that it's going away, but I feel like people always took it more seriously than it should have been taken. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like it's always just cheesy jokes. Like that's what makes it. And it's people are like, oh, I don't think it was a good show. It's like, well, I mean, that's kind of what it's made to be. Kind of a cheesy, crappy show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I mean, I always like the actors that play Bill and Ted. I like them a lot. They're great.
Yeah.
I like Bill and Ted as characters, but I don't think that they actually like use them as Bill and Ted very well in the shows. You know, and it hasn't been really referential to the movies too much, other than just a couple of catchphrases that they use all the time.
Yep.
You know, so this one had a little bit more of those like actual references to the movie in it, which I liked. And then, like I said, a nice send-off for it. And it's a perfectly okay show. You know, like I said, no problems with it. Love the actors. The actors did a great job. And, you know, it was nice to see, like, Jason Perry come back, you know, and reprise his role as Ted for the last season. And
for sure.
Yeah. So overall, I would definitely, you know, catch it, you know, this year since it's the last one. You might as well see one of the shows, but
definitely,
I wouldn't be one of those ones trying to hit the last show. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be one of those people.
Good luck with that. I mean, I'm sure that's probably going to be a better show because they're going to go totally off script and stuff like that. But that's going to be a madhouse.
Yeah.
Good luck with that if you're going to try to do that.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to do. I'll see one of the earlier showings that day or something, and. You know,
you see it on YouTube.
And
they record it.
Exactly. Somebody will be filming that last one.
Yeah.
So that is our review pretty much. And now we call upon you, the audience, to let us know what you thought about the event. What your house listing was. You know, maybe give us your top 3 because it's going to be hard to go over everybody's whole like house ranking in order. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll get something up on the Dead Man's Digest and get people's like, you know, top 3s, comments you have about this year. Questions, yeah. Any questions you have about the event? Because we've been going a lot. We know the stay and scream locations. We know, you know, how to get through the event the best.
We could tell you that pizza fries are the best thing that's ever been invented.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about food, but yeah, pizza fries are where it's at for sure. Like that's the highlight of the menu offerings this year. Definitely. I say those donuts are pretty awesome too.
Until I dropped 3 on the floor by accident.
I haven't tried those yet, but I have heard good things about those.
Yeah. So.
Quick shout
out. Are they
like
fresh made? Like.
Yeah, they
right
I think
there?
they have the little fryers there. They dump them and then they put them on a stick, and it's like a huge stack of them.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
Get some nice greasy donuts.
Yes, I can already feel them.
Donuts. Get the Homer Simpson on.
But quick shout out because we actually met a lot of people. It was Holly and her husband Rob. They were pretty cool. Hung out with them for a bit. We got Chris and Alexa. Yeah, I think they're the biggest Universal fans. So we have to give up the you guys met a little bit more people than I did because I was kind of MIA because Friday I had a long week and I was gonna go, but and then Saturday I couldn't get in, which I forgot about. I was totally planning on going on Saturday.
Oh yeah, so, that's when we saw almost everybody was on Friday night. So
and we also saw that Florida guy and gal, Gary and Becca, and Donna and her husband Terry. They were so sweet. They're the first ones we saw there at the entrance. It was awesome.
Yeah. So if there's anybody we didn't get to see, we're definitely sorry. We tried, you know, to meet as many people as we could, but even Saturday we weren't even feeling great. Didn't make it through many houses or anything. So.
I'm getting old.
Yeah. Should have paced yourself on Friday.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But you had to go all out because it was your birthday.
And a third of the park was in the dark.
Buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah. So, and, you know, just real quick, we'll talk about the Great Blackout of Horror Nights 27.
That night, I've never done we did one house.
Yeah. Well, let's just say the park was blacked out.
And they were blacked out.
No.
There it was.
No.
Just kidding.
From Men in Black over to Kid Zone.
Yes. was just
There was a complete power
pitch
outage
black.
on that side of the park.
That's crazy.
for almost the entire night.
That's a great place, right where the crazy chainsaw clowns are. And I want to give them a quick shout out too because they are amazing. Their makeup's amazing.
They're scared. They should be a scare zone.
And
you
they
know
do
what?
such
They're
a great.
scare zone.
They're doing such a great job this year of teaming up on people. Like one will just sit there and wave to you, or get a picture, and then the other ones will come slam it or come flying behind you and stuff like that. They're doing a great job of that. So
Do with that sneak attack.
yeah.
Dude,
So-
imagine how crazy that would have been to be in one of those houses when that blacked out.
Gosh.
Yeah, that'd be pretty scary.
We're gonna die! Scarecrow! They're gonna get us!
Oh man.
I'm sure the lights probably came on. They probably had
Yeah,
some kind of
emergency
backup
lights.
generator
Yeah.
to have some emergency floodlights come on, but it still would have been crazy.
Hopefully. Well, let us know if you were in one of those. We'd be interested to hear your story of that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so that's going to do it for this one here. So we'll catch you again probably, it's in, next week?
Yeah. Hopefully,
Do our, last few
Academy
days.
of Villains gets their stage up and we can do a
Yeah.
full review on
Talk
that.
about
That
that
would be
a
nice.
little bit more. Talk about your questions and your rankings and everything. We'll do that show.
Food,
and then
drink.
I think the week after that, we'll do a Hollow Scream review because it'll be about time for us to be into Hollow Scream season. And Travis has already attended this year, so...
Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So definitely, we got some content lined up for you. Again, get to us on our Facebook group. That's where we get all our questions and everything from. That's Dead Man's Digest on Facebook. You can also email if you don't have that, deadmansdigest@gmail.com. That's going to do it for this one. So for Travis and Nina, I'm Darren, and this is the Dead Man's Digest.
Happy Halloween.